Southeast Asia is the part of the world that is sandwiched between the Indian and the Pacific Ocean. Today, to an average Joe, the region is known for its scenic nature, rich and diverse culture, and dealing with rowdy white people. In the past, however, the area was more known for its natural resources, trade routes, and dealing with rowdy white people. The term Southeast Asia is a relatively new one. It first came about during the Second World War, where the entire region was under colonialism, except Thailand. They had a bit more of sunshines and rainbows. By the mid-1900s, however, many of the nations declared independence after a decades-long struggle. State building based on ideology, values, and some even loyalty to monarchies soon emerged. So you would think that this group of up-and-coming countries, finally free from the shackles of foreign power, would live happily ever after. Well, no. Just like a family gathering, the group of these nations was ruined by the one extremist uncle. Indonesia was angry at Malaysia for existing, and decided to invade it, but not before sabotaging some civilian areas in Singapore to cause distraction. Keep in mind that Indonesia was doing all of this while ignoring its economy that was in the shambles. Fortunately, the conflict did not last too long. After a friendly visit from Uncle Sam to Indonesia, soon, 5 Southeast Asian states, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines got along quite well. They even formed themselves a breakfast club where they could sit around to talk about the political and economic state of the world. Just as they thought the region will live through peace and stability, Vietnam decided to be communist and invade Cambodia. The episode, generally known as the Third Indochinese War, is a murky one, with various countries taking opposing sides. Fueled by ideological drive and self-determination from this guy, the warring factions treated the Geneva Conventions as illegitimate suggestions, which resulted in thousands of deaths and collateral damage. In classic ASEAN fashion, however, there was nothing that couldn't be fixed by talking. Much like returning war veterans, Vietnam and Cambodia decided to put down their weapons and pick up the bottles. In addition to that, they couldn't keep up the cost of war and realized that war was indeed bad for the economy. Soon, with enough social lubrication, the two along with Myanmar and Laos became full-blown members of ASEAN. By the turn of the century, major wars between Southeast Asian countries became a thing of the past, except that one time between Thailand and Cambodia, when they fought over who gets to keep the Shiva Phankop temple. But we don't have to talk about that. On the bright side, the region received praise for achieving massive economic growth and decent political stability throughout the 2000s. Some even credit ASEAN for providing extra-regional actors with space to negotiate each other's differences. On the other hand, critics have pointed out its slow decision-making process, especially with Myanmar and the ongoing civil war. Part of the reason, other than skill issues, is because of ASEAN's Treaty of Amity and Cooperation that forbids intervention, and diplomatic style known as the ASEAN Way. This method depends on recommendations and consensus between actors, while avoiding legally binding agreements. As you can imagine, it's a very inefficient approach to global governance. Additionally, ASEAN also do not have much to show for regarding the ongoing conflict in the South China Sea, particularly for the Philippines, as its sovereignty is constantly violated by the Chinese Coast Guard. It got so bad that the Philippines decided to work closer with the US and Japan, as they share the same adversary. Observers claim that this signals Philippines' lack of faith in ASEAN to resolve regional issues. In all seriousness though, with uncertain geopolitical conditions in the Indo-Pacific, and Southeast Asia slap right in the middle of it, how the region and its members would carry itself will be a lot more unpredictable. Some Southeast Asian countries prefer to stay close to the US, some decide to stay close to China, meanwhile others stay chronically indecisive. But for now, all we can do is to hope for the best. Or I don't know, be a refugee in Australia once it is a fan.